Well, the fallout from the American Airlines plane crash is looming large over Washington today, where Senate confirmation hearings are still going on for key Trump appointees. Tulsi Gabbard, you see there, the nominee for Director of National Intelligence. Kash Patel, Trump's pick to lead the FBI, are facing their first hearings today. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the nominee for Health and Human Services Secretary, is being grilled on Capitol Hill for the second day. CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small joins us now from Washington. Taurean, thank you for being with us. I know you're following all of this. Let's start with the plane crash tragedy, which happened just a few miles away from the Capitol. Are we seeing any reaction yet during these confirmation hearings to this horrible, horrible accident?
Yeah, Liz, this is quite a bit of a tragedy that is top of mind for lawmakers on the Hill. Before the proceedings started, we've seen several lawmakers directly address the crash that happened yesterday, sending their condolences to the families and the Army, and really talk about how much grief this has and any way that they could be a part of the process in helping and investigating this. I want to play a bit of sound from Senator Warner from the Senate Armed Services Committee from this morning. Before the committee got started, they did a moment of silence for the victims there. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
It's a horrible tragedy. The victims' families are still being notified. For those of us who live in this region, you know, it's always kind of complicated. We've got Virginia, D.C., Maryland, and a host of local jurisdictions. But last night, when this tragedy took place, and I happened to be driving by National on the way home and saw all the first responders rushing to the scene. People came from as far away as Baltimore, Fairfax County. We had DOD and federal officials there. And these first responders, as always, ran towards the tragedy. There'll be a time to figure out what happened and how we rectify it. But today, our thoughts and prayers ought to be with the families and, again, thanking our first responders.
That was Senate Intel Vice Chairman right there, Mark Warner, again sending his condolences to those involved in this accident here. I also want to point out that this was top of mind for nominees as they're facing their confirmation hearings today. I want to toss to sound from Kash Patel. He started out his opening statements by saying this.
Chairman Grassley, Ranking Member Durbin, and members of the Judiciary Committee, thank you for the opportunity to appear today. I must start with a word of prayer for the tragic accident that befell our nation last night, where we lost civilians and service members. I pray for their families. I pray for law enforcement and military personnel, and I pray for their souls.
So again, Patel there sending his condolences, saying a prayer, Liz, for those involved in this crash.
And Taurean, I want to shift our focus now to the hearings that are still going on amidst this tragedy. What have you been hearing from lawmakers about the path to confirmation for the three individuals in the hot seat today?
Yeah, Patel was probably grilled the hardest of the three folks on the Hill today. He had this intense back and forth with Senator Klobuchar, where she repeatedly pressed him to explain some of his recent comments about law enforcement, the FBI, and conspiracy theories. We also saw Senator Dick Durbin look to press Patel on his connections and ties and associations to far-right conspiracy theorist groups, his apologists' view in his mind of the January 6th riot on the Capitol here, and look to really grill him on whether or not his loyalty could play a factor in the Bureau's independence to the president moving forward. That was something that I also talked to Senator Richard Blumenthal, who's a member of this committee as well, about. He said that at the heart of their concerns, because it appears to be a pathway to their confirmations, at the heart of their concerns is that independence probably most likely will not be at the heart of the FBI if Patel and Bondi are confirmed.
All right, CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small, you are monitoring it all for us. Thank you so much for that insight.